All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is going to be kind of a quick video. I'll be honest, I have some plans to play with some Lego sets today, so I'm really excited for that, all right? But I am very quickly going to let you know my thoughts about the overall market. We talked about it on the Discord earlier this morning, around 9 a.m. my time. Ugly market. You can see the little poo-poo emoji right there. I would agree. It looked like a little bit of poo-poo. Yesterday, I actually called it an odd market. I'm not going to go look for that. I found the number 2. That's how I found this. I prepared. But yeah, it went from odd yesterday to, I would say, ugly today. And I basically have a 1, 2, 3, 4 plan. And I'm kind of going to go over this, all right? And look, someone had disagreed with me down here. And we kind of go over that discussion back and forth. Not a hardcore discussion, but again, I always say it. Never hesitate to disagree with me. I'm just a dude with some opinions. Knock on wood, they do pretty well. But hey, yeah, I'm often wrong, and I actually appreciate it when someone tells me what's right before I lose too much. You know what I mean? So, S&P 500 under the 8 moving average. You know I don't like that, right? When I look at real quick, S&P 500 looks like this. SPY is going to look exactly the same, right? When I look at NASDAQ, COMPQ, NASDAQ Composite, we're actually under the 8 and the 20. Again, QQQ does mirror it exactly the same, right, as always. When I look at the Dow Jones DJ30, oh, interesting little outlier here, all right? And the DIA, I think is what I can look at here. Yeah, the Dow Jones ETF. Again, oh, interesting little outlier here, right? So we're going to talk about those 3. I'm going to talk a bit about NVIDIA as well. And then, like I said, my 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see Dow Jones right there is number 3, right? So actually, the 4th thing we're going to peek at as well is the Russell. The Russell is at a little bit of an interesting place, and we're looking at the IWM, which is the ETF of that right there, all right? So that's the plan for this video. Let's go back to SPX. And then we'll say what I always say, right? So before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Excuse me, same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. You know, I haven't drawn lines here in a while because all we've really been doing is going up and holding the lines. But there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So, again, if you were in the Discord, you heard me talking about it a little bit yesterday and obviously today. We're not looking beautiful right now, right? And things are clearly shifting. As I zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out, my goodness, right? Since November of last year. And really, I can actually keep zooming out, and we can actually basically call it since January of last year. All we've been doing is going up and up, right? Occasional drops, but hey, up is the easy thing to say, all right? Since that November that I mentioned before, all right, there have not been a lot of moments below both the 8 and the 20. But there have been some moments under the 8 and all the way down to the 20, right? This is one, and it kind of lasts a while. There's a little bit of it right here in that like month window. Obviously, we go below and below, and we'll talk about that later. And then again right here, and almost roughly again right. Sorry, my cat needs to get out. What are you doing? I'm making videos for the people. What are you doing? My goodness. Sorry about that. So to me, we're another place where we're under the 8. Now look, this is only one candle, all right? We need to confirm, and I'll get to the confirmation numbers, but I think it's realistic to kind of start to think myself, you know what? We actually might be coming down here to, roughly speaking, 55.40, 55.30 and change, right? Roughly speaking. We've done it before, like I said, and you can see we did it not that long ago, basically a month and a half ago, roughly in early June, right? I think it's a little too early to think from here to here. I think that's a little bit of an extreme. Now, when I look at QQQ, right, which basically I already started the video with, just in case you fast forwarded, QQQ looks like this. This one's always the mirror image of NASDAQ. NASDAQ actually gapped below the 8 and went directly to the 20, all right? And it's an easy argument, and actually I say this a little bit earlier. So, and I've said this before, S&P 500 is very tech heavy. And I'm starting to kind of group it with NASDAQ. So what does that mean? Look, NASDAQ, the NASDAQ composite is a tech thing, right? Like this thing is I want to say 100% focus on tech. Maybe it's not 100, maybe it's rough, but like this is a tech index right here. The S&P 500 is supposed to be a balanced index of the top 500 companies, all right? And people smarter than me are always adjusting the thing. If they feel like the forecast of number 499 is going up, they'll bump it up and they'll add more percent and more weight to it. If they think number 300 all of a sudden sucks, they will drop it and add 501 into S&P 500, right? I think it's fair to say that most of those 500 companies are now tech companies. I think tech has significantly grown while non-tech has stayed stable or kind of gone down. Again, these are just my opinions. I really don't have the facts. I'm sure you can Google how much is blah, 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 right? But I've started really lumping NASDAQ and S&P 500. Again, I think the simple thing is just look at this exact same thing. That same January till today, all the way up, that same couple dips, that's, you know, they look the same visually. And again, you heard my comments about tech being a lot of that top 500, right? So to me, these two are starting to kind of move the same way. And again, the main point was NASDAQ already made the drop to the 20. And NASDAQ is starting to actually make me wonder if we're dropping maybe here to like 17.7 or even losing that and coming all the way down to 17.4 basically, right? So NASDAQ has me thinking 50s, right? Sorry, 50 moving average, excuse me. S&P 500, I'm still here, but hey, a little bit of me is wondering if the NASDAQ falls too much, does that mean this thing's just going to follow, right? Again, you see it. In this worst of the dips, this one only gets to the 100. When we look at NASDAQ COMPQ, in that same little worst of the dip, it actually gets to the 100. So they've made the same worst of the dips and relatively the same. Like again, they move the same, all right? And that's going to take me to my number one and number two thoughts, all right? This is what I'm looking for in this market. What's NVIDIA going to do? And I will get to NVIDIA. It looks like I really started with number two. But where do S&P 500 and NASDAQ, I obviously said that in reverse, and I apologize, but where do these two go? I believe it's going to follow NASDAQ. I mean, so, my goodness, talk about dyslexic. I believe it's going to follow NVIDIA, both of them, all right? This is what NVIDIA looks like. I've been talking about just look at this thing for 1, 2, 3 and a little bit, 3 full weeks and 2 trading days. This thing was just battling the 8 and the 20, trying to hold it. Actually makes a decent little move, but only just doji with it, right? But actually makes its way on up to here, only to lo and behold drop, right? So Trump made some comments about Taiwan. I think some people were connecting it to that. Whatever the case may be, NVIDIA looks just a little bit better than NASDAQ, right? Because again, COMPQ, NASDAQ is actually under the 20 already, right? NVIDIA, I think we just said is, oh no, I'm so sorry. NVIDIA looks worse. NVIDIA's already lost the 20 and making its basically way to the 50, right? So this is a must bounce right here. I still have this line. I used to say, and I said it on the last video, I don't think we're going to go any lower than 112. I don't know how confident I feel on that, right? But hey, the 50 moving average is a strong line. And for now, these two are places where we can catch it, bounce, and go back up, all right? So I'm not thinking any lower than 112. 115 and 112, that's the bounce range right there, all right? If we lose 110, then I'm actually going to start to think 101, all right? And with that, I'm going to assume that SP500 and NASDAQ basically make their way down, all right? What am I looking to do? Maybe follow the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, unlike the other two, are actually going up, 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 up. All right. And when I look at DIA, the ETF of the Dow Jones, up, 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 up. Right now, RSI is a little high. Don't get me wrong, but ooh, volume's good. MACD is good. Sorry. When I look at the weekly, oh man, the weekly's looking nice, right? Like Dow Jones is going up as the other two are going down, and hey, maybe that means let's start looking outside of tech. Let's start looking at some bread and butter Dow Jones industrial companies and start trading those, all right? So that's one option. The other option is, hey, maybe we look even smaller. Maybe we look at the Russell stocks, right? Look at this weekly, actually almost identical to the Dow Jones, and actually a little better because the RSI is a little lower. When I look at the daily, this thing looks like it has already started the RSI cool down, but hey, it made its way up, super high RSI, probably needs to cool down. Hopefully that 8 moving average just keeps going up, up, up. Hopefully this doesn't go any lower than like, what, 215-ish, give or take, and then, you know, continues a trend up, right? So maybe smaller caps, maybe Dow Jones bread and butter companies, and I'm definitely seeing some China stocks moving a little silly for no reason, you know what I mean? But again, things don't look good. I'm not here worrying about a crash, worrying about this or that. I'm here to adjust my plan and hopefully win. And remember, doing absolutely nothing is also a good thing. Taking your money out, putting it in the side, waiting for things to cool off, to correct, whatever the words you want to use, and then, hey, get back into it when look, right now there's 3 major indices and 2 of them don't look good, right? I'm a fan when at least 2 or more look better. Clearly, I love it when all 3 look good, right? So right now, 2 of the 3 don't look good, right? So let's wait till we're in a place where that's a different, where the math is better. You know what I mean? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Hey, let me know if you have any different plans than anything I just outlined. But hey, I appreciate you so much.